All right. Oh my goodness. Start video. Okay. All right, everybody. I am, okay. Oh my gosh. What's happening? Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. I am Natalie Dolan. I am an Emerald Ambassador. And I want to share with you guys tonight everything that I know about social media. This is something that I felt was that us leaders felt was super important for just I know that we have a lot of new people, but even the people who have been doing this a while, I feel like I definitely have some tips for everybody. I'm not a social media expert, but I do want to share a lot of things that I'm noticing, as well as just what to do, what not to do. And so I'm really excited to share all of this with you tonight. In the last 4.5 years, I have really, I went from not posting on social media really ever. I didn't have a presence. I posted maybe once or twice a month. Like if it was like a holiday and we took like a family picture, I would like post that, something along those lines. So I had to completely learn from the ground up everything that I knew. I wasn't somebody who was like already on social media and like already, I wasn't one of those people. So first of all, I want to start off with I think that a philosophy needs to change. So right now we're reading this Light Edge and we're talking a lot about like what are, not needing a self-help book, but needing to change our philosophy about what we do and that how that will change everything, right? So I think right now what I'm seeing is the philosophy for has been, or, even myself, it's like, I am only here on Facebook to post about Plexus and to sell Plexus. And that's really why I'm showing up here on Facebook. It's all about just me, ultimately making a sale or whatever. So I see that common, like just across the board, which isn't like bad or anything, but I think really like changing the philosophy to I'm here on social media to add value, to love on people, to be social on social media, to interact with people on social media. And so I think really shifting your philosophy to I am here to add value, influence people, and be a light. Something really, really trying to figure out like what is your social media philosophy and how might you be able to tweak that to really, really just care for your audience. And I think that's like number one. So like I said, be social on social media. So I think a good takeaway for that is, like I like to get, I'm a big stories fan, Facebook stories, Instagram stories. I'm a huge stories fan. And I feel like that has really, really served me, especially in my later years of doing Plexus, after going through your warm market and all of that. I feel like I'm always generating a new warm market through my stories because I'm showing up and people are seeing my face and they're deciding if they can trust me, right? They're like, I think, it's like having coffee with a friend every single day. And at first, you're probably not super sure, like you're not sure if you really like this person. You're just kind of like getting to know them. And then after a while, you're like, no, I really do like this person. You're having that face-to-face interaction. So, but I'm going to get more to that in a second. So be social on social media, right? And everything we do is sowing a seed. So I want to start off, I've broken this down into Plexus posts and non-Plexus posts. I'm going to start off with the Plexus posts, and I'm going to spend the least amount of time on that because I really want to focus on non-Plexus posts. But number one, just know that people nowadays on social media, they don't want to be sold to. So we have sales coming at us all the time on social media. Times have really, things have really evolved, times have really changed, and the business and everything is always evolving. Everything is always evolving. So people don't want to be sold to, and really never have. Like, none of us really like car salespeople, furniture salespeople. Those are like, people who, really, there's a lot of pushback in that. So people don't want to see like a graphic, like a sales graphic typically. About the only time that I really post a graphic is if we are actually having like a 2-day flash sale. And there's like an actual time where it's like, I need to grab your attention. It's like a really big, really important sale. And I will make my own graphic on WordSwag. The two apps that I use are WordSwag and Canva, and anybody can learn how to use these. I didn't know how to use them when I downloaded them, but I played with them enough. I didn't really, I wouldn't say go watch a YouTube video about it, like just play around with it. And so I use WordSwag and Canva. Again, write this down, if you have notes, this is a good one to take notes on. And so I'll make my own graphic, something unique, because, you don't want the same thing floating around with multiple friends. And then after the sale, I will go back to my page and I will delete it, because you need to go to your wall and you need to scroll through it as if somebody would just went to your page for the first time. What do they see? Is it a big Plexus sales ad, or is it you? And then Plexus sprinkled in every now and again. And I think that's very important. So don't post graphics, salesy graphics, blurry graphics. It needs to be, whatever you're posting needs to be very attention grabbing, like nice, professional. So yeah, stay away from Pinterest. Just flat out never anything on Pinterest. So that's that. We don't want to post sales ads or just anything, or even an informational graphic, that says whatever. Like, we don't want to do that. Like, it would be better for you to provide the information with like a picture of your family, or like just a picture. It doesn't even necessarily have to be you. It could be, a landscape picture that you took or whatever. I do want to say that people can tell if you are only doing copy and paste posting. If you are never coming up with your own original content, people are going to know that. We're intuitive. Obviously, there's mostly women who do this business, and we all know how intuitive we are. Okay. We can sense things. Okay. And that's no different from the people who are watching you kind of skeptically, figuring out what's going on with you. Are you the real deal? So keep that in mind. I don't think it's not bad to copy and paste, occasionally, weekly, whatever, but for the, multiple times a week, but like most, you should at least trying to, hold on, somebody's unmuted. Mute. Gotcha. For the most part, we should really try to be creating a lot of our own content. Okay. Lazy posting will turn people off. So if you're not creating your own stuff, that's lazy posting, right? And people, ultimately that will translate to how, people see you as a leader. If you're posting in a lazy way, then people will not want to follow a lazy leader. Okay. That's that. Another thing I want to say is, I don't know if you've ever heard this term, but facts tell and stories sell. So, I would say like a 4-to-1 ratio of like posting stories, what Plexus can do for you, posting about the business, and then a little bit about what's in the products, it's just not as, or an article or whatever. So Stories are what really are like the deciding factor for people. You know, what this can really do for them. People care so much more about if this can help this person, then this can help me. And that is what gives people hope, and that's what will build people's belief in the products, opposed to, you know, the strands of bacteria that are in ProBio 5. You know, people are not as concerned about that. Some people are, but the ratio of it's just not the same. Okay. So that's what I have to say about Plexus posts. Just definitely try to write your own stuff. I get in the beginning that you don't know what to post, but as you grow and you keep on growing in this business, you should be trying to, you know, produce a little bit more of your own stuff. Okay. Now I want to move on to non-Plexus posts. Your non-Plexus posts, I see this as a really big missing key for a lot of people. Your non-Plexus posts are just as important as your Plexus posts, if not more. People are going to be joining you and not, they're joining you. Okay. So you need to show people who you are. You need to show people your face. You need to show people what it sounds like when you talk, what, you know, bringing people into your day, so that people can build trust with you. So I really want you guys to, again, change your philosophy to falling in love with adding value. This was a major shift for me when I really, I got away from just feeling like I was checking the box to really falling in love with being somebody who consistently shows up in people's lives, sharing vulnerably, connecting with people, helping people to feel seen, and adding value, being the light in people's day. Social media can be a really, you know, dark place for a lot of people. Especially now, you know, there's a lot of controversy, and there's, you know, always something, right? It's our job to be the light in people's day. Okay. You need to ask yourself, is this adding value before you post it? Posting like your family updates, you know, like, hey, on Saturday we went to, you know, the corn maze, and, you know, here's some awesome pictures of this place that we went, you know, that's good. And like updates are good, but it should be sharing stories. Okay. So think of it as you making deposits into your audience. And that needs to happen before any transaction between the two of you will happen. Because if people feel like you're adding value into their life, they're going to be so much more likely to be open to learning about Plexus, open to finding out if this is a good fit for them, open to checking out the information, and ultimately finding out what we know, right? Because if people know what you know, they'll come to the same conclusion that you did. And ultimately they will buy from you, you know, and then their life can be changed, and maybe they can see you as a leader and following you and changing their life, right? So, okay, I know that, you know, sharing stories is vulnerable, letting people into your inner world, because when you put yourself out there, like that visibility is vulnerability, right? So you put yourself out there and you are opening yourself up to the opinions of others. People are going to automatically make an opinion, and that can be pretty intimidating sometimes. That can be hard sometimes. I've definitely shared some pretty personal stuff on Facebook because I felt like it needed to be heard from people. And some of those posts have turned out to be some of my greatest joys in doing this, just connecting with people and like just hearing people how they needed to hear that story, you know, things like that. So I want you to ask yourself, when you're showing up on social media, what is your posture? And by that, I mean, are you showing up confidently on social media? Are you showing up positively? Are you positioning yourself as a leader? Are you rock solid in what you believe? Are you like solid in that, like you know, you're working toward growing, you're on a path for, you know, greater growth, you're on a path for better health. You know, do people know that about you? You know, if you're over here and you're reading the book club book and you're super pumped up about growing right now in your life and all of that, like you should be sharing that with people, like just letting people know like where you're at in your life, and people are attracted to that. So ask yourself, what is your posture when you're showing up? Are you confident? Because how you are showing up is who you're attracting. So, you know, obviously we know we all have friends on social media who are negative, who complain a lot. And I'm willing to bet that none of y'all are like, wow, if they started a business tomorrow, I would want to join them, you know? So even that on a smaller scale, just asking yourself who you're attracting with your posts. So if you're professional with your posts, if you're intentional with your posts, those are the kinds of people who are going to end up joining you, people who are also going to be positive and professional. And those are the people that you want to spend time with, right? Okay. So let me see where I'm at. Where am I at? So here's a point that I want to make. I want you guys to know that when you show up on social media, you aren't trying to make everybody like you. You're not going to be able to make everybody like you. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Some people are not going to like the energy that I have. That's going to be obnoxious to some people, you know? Some people are not going to like that, you know? But what I'm looking for is the people who do like who I am. And I'm not trying to please everybody. We're just looking for our people. In this business, we don't need 500 people. We just need a few people who get you, love you, trust you, and want to go all in with you. It doesn't take a million people. It's so much better to have a smaller amount of quality people who are like really, really with you, who really know you and really trust you, than a ton of people trying to get everybody to like you. Because if you do that, nobody's going to really know you. Nobody's going to really get you. So you're going to win with no one, trying to win with everyone. Okay. Okay. So when it comes to being strategic with your content creation, okay, this is a job, right? You guys have a business. It is great if you sit down for half an hour on a Sunday intentionally and you brainstorm some ideas. You know, today even I was like, what should I post about today? I need to post something non-plexus that really adds people. And I was sitting like, what's really on my heart lately? And I just get quiet for a minute and ask yourself that. What am I really, you know, thinking about a lot lately? And then just go from there. And so I decided to make a post about leadership because that's something that I had been thinking of. And it's something that I don't really talk about enough, which will add value to some people out there. And ultimately, that's me positioning myself as a leader for other people to want to follow me and other leaders to want to follow me too. So when it comes to content creation, if you don't know what to post, like I said, sit down, brainstorm. What are you passionate about? Whatever. You don't have to have some crazy, interesting life or crazy schedule or things that you're always on the go. We all have value to add, and we all have things that speak to us, and you know, positive, encouraging opinions that will help bless other people. But also, when you're doing personal growth on the regular, you will have things to post about. That's how, if I'm ever in a place where I'm like, I don't know what to post about, I know right then and there that I haven't been doing enough I haven't been prioritizing personal growth lately, because otherwise I would have something that's, kind of on my mind, something that I'm learning. And really, you can just share with people what you're learning in your own life, and that adds value to people. Okay. And people will see you as competent. They will see you as intentional. So keep a running idea list in your phone. I have an idea list. If I'm driving around and I have a good idea or something pops up into my head, I will add it to my content idea list on my phone. Stop at the red light, I'll put it in there, and then I can always go back to that later and create a post. With our posts, we should be encouraging, educating, entertaining, or empowering people. Those are the 4 E's. And so keep those in mind. And just be creative. You have to give yourself the opportunity to be creative in how you show up. Again, okay. And then next point, yeah. So back to stories. I want to touch on this just another second. Like I was saying, show up, show your face. You know what? You can link your Instagram stories to your Facebook stories. And look, you don't have to do your hair and makeup every day. If you're not comfortable with that or whatever, you're busy, you're not that kind of person. There's plenty of great filters on Instagram that you can put on that make you look like completely fresh and like you just, I don't know. I mean, the filters on there are amazing. Okay. So there's really no excuse to not show your face on social media. And it feels weird at first, trust me, but you do get used to it. You just show up, you talk about your day, share a quick story, share just something, any little thing, so that you can get in front of people, so that you can have coffee with people. And that's like that helps build that intimacy with people. You can just share, even on your stories, you can share what you're learning, talk about your journey, what you're going through, talk about plexus, show your face, show yourself as confident. And that again will build trust. Showing up consistently will build trust. If people know that they can expect to see your stuff on Instagram, Facebook every day, that builds trust with them. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and then, okay. What, am I missing anything? Yep, that's pretty much what I got. And so your strategy is to connect with your audience. And ultimately, you are wanting to solve their problem. So when it comes to writing a Plexus post, I should have put this on the last one, but you are trying to connect with people so that people feel understood and validated. And then you are solving their problem. So, learning how to write a good post like that. I know how it feel. I remember what it felt like to be exhausted every day at 4. I was dragging. I dreaded making dinner every day. I had no energy for it. I really, that people are like, oh, she gets me. She knows what I'm going through. But and then solving their problem. I'm so thankful that I found a solution for that. And I have a solution for you too. And that's really adds a lot of value to people. Okay. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've got for social media strategy. If anybody has anything, I think I pretty much covered it. If you had anything, throw it in the chat. But guys, this is a skill that y'all can learn. It doesn't come natural to most people. It's just something that you practice. So I think that if you guys implement this, it'll really help take your businesses to the next level, as well as how much you enjoy showing up every day. It's so much more enjoyable when you're intentional about it instead of checking off a box. Okay. So, all right, guys, that's all I've got, and have a wonderful night.